would you say is the most inspirational person in your life?
I'll probably say the most inspirational person in my life is probably my sister. The thing is, when you have an older sibling, it can go one of two ways, where you either are kind of, you have a really bad relationship, or you have, you're really close, and I think that's where we are. My sister's always had my back, and even when I first moved out of mum and dad's house, Joe paid my rent for like the first 3 months. So yeah, she's always been a great sounding board, always willing to give useful advice, and yeah, just overall a great support system for me.
If you had one, what is your #1 tip for other designers and young professionals?
I always advise younger designers to embrace the mistakes that you make. I think because of the environment we're in, where social media encourages you to push the positive and the good parts of your life, because of the kind of work we do, you need to be willing to be okay to make errors and then start again, because you are in a constant learning process with making clothes. So you try things that may not work, and then you start again. The mistake isn't really what's important. What's vital is that you're able to bounce back and keep your creativity fresh.
What was the most challenging part of your career?
I'll probably say the most challenging part of my career was when I lost my first business, and this was 2009. I had a brand with friends, and we were really successful, but they were doing stuff on the side that wasn't above board. So that caught up with them, caught up with all of us really, because even though I wasn't involved, the authorities thought that we were all in collusion. So I ended up doing 4 months on remand whilst we were all being investigated. At the time, we were in Topshop, we were in ASOS, we were in Orders, and we lost all of those contracts. Even the office that we had in Chelsea, we had to give that up because I wasn't at the helm of the business to keep it going. So after 4 months of being investigated, I got found not guilty, and my friend had to do his sentence. And that was hugely humbling, because I went from having a company that was earning like 6 figures to not having any money at all, and starting again and having to, loan money from my parents almost. So that was definitely a way of me having to reinvent myself. And it was challenging because I didn't really like asking for help. So, I had a great support system, and the lady I was seeing at the time, she was very helpful in terms of helping me get my feet back on the ground. But it was going to be a hard slog, and I think had I not gone through that process, it wouldn't have made me a better business person.
What were the key things that helped you develop your skills?
One of the main things that helped me develop my skills was taking garments apart and then putting them back together. I find that as much as, there is YouTube, and I did have a good friend that was a tutor, when you take a garment apart, you're able to see the order in which it's constructed in, and then you're kind of putting it back together in reverse. Because for me, garment making is a lot about the process, the order in which things are made in, and then your practice helps you improve your finishing skills. And then I had a friend called Sean who, I haven't seen him in years. He spent 2 solid years with me, just teaching me really minor things about sewing that was so vital. That is the difference between someone who wants to sew at home compared to an expert machinist.
What characteristics do you have that's a strength and a weakness?
I would say the characteristic which is a strength and a weakness is I'm very quick with my decision making, and a lot of that boils down to trusting my own instincts. it's not, well, it's not about me being comfortable being wrong. If you're ever going to lead people, then you have to be very decisive. And because I do have a team that works around me, and then there's other professionals that I rely on their opinion as well. Ultimately, the buck does stop with me because it's my vision. So if it doesn't go to plan, then you just try again. But yeah, that can work in my favour, and the opposite.